Alrighty, found some interesting things already. It's about 45 minutes after the first video. It took me a little bit longer to find this little spot because there's 2 or 3 areas that kind of look like it. That's what's weird about this area, is there's a lot of different landmarks that kind of look similar. A lot of dead trees in the swamp, so basically where I'm at right now is a game trail, horse trail, where people go horseback riding at. And this is the spot where it was at right here. You can't really, there we go, it's a little better. You see there's a lot of deep, that tall grass. But this, I was looking for prints and everything too. I found something maybe interesting. There's a lot of this deep, tall grass right here. Sheba and Sola are going after something. Come here. Sheba, Sola. But this area right here is what I think is interesting. Something definitely was bedding down. See how those are laid down? This is kind of like that where I found that spot, which is about 20 feet over. There was an indention like dug out, and then they laid the grass down. This just looks like, it looks a little different than how deer do, because deer, you can usually see each one will come lay in the grass and you'll see the whole mark of the deer. You won't see a big wide open area like right here. See the grass laid down over there. I mean, it's not real obvious. It doesn't look too fresh. But when I found this area a couple years ago, I've never seen a nest like that. It's like it dug out. It was right here. It's like it dug out a 5 to 6 foot pit and then laid the grass in it. And when I put my backpack and laid in it, it was very much comfortable. And there's a lot of this tall grass all in the area. And luckily, this is right on a horse trail, right off a horse trail. It's kind of a little open field. And right up here is what I thought was pretty crazy. There's deer tracks, lots of deer tracks. And that's one thing too. The deer tracks that are the freshest is where this, it's a pretty big track. I mean, it's either, to me, it would either have to be a bear. Oh, Lordy, is somewhere right there. There, yeah. Unmistakable right there. That, I mean, that's huge right there. This, I'm not really sure which way, because this is really soft sand. And I'm putting, watch, there's the first track right there. Right there. I'm going to put my foot down. See, yep, right on the back of it. And look, that's much further. Much further right there than my foot. And then the next one's right here. Wow, that looks like some toes going on in there. See, I was looking at it from the other way. Looks like maybe it's going that way. Look, right in the middle of the screen, yo. And then it's kind of a depression. This for sure. That little spot. And then there's not another track till way over here. Like that track and that one, that's about 8 feet apart. I mean, something was moving through here. That looks like it was dragging. Because my foot up to that, I don't know. And that one's the most visible. That one's very visible. That's weird, man. That one's weird looking. That's like too good to be true there. Looks like he's got 3 toes. I mean, that's pretty big. But it looks like it was like the back part. It starts right here. So that's like 3 of those feet wide or long. Let's see. Like, it should have kept leaving marks right here. Unless it stopped and backtracked. Yeah, there is kind of a mark right here. And right there. Yeah, that's definitely... Alright, come here, guys. Come on. Let's get out of here, man. I've been out here way too long. Well, sorry, you guys. There's not that much to see. I meant to get out here sooner. I really did not want to be out here this late. So, I'm heading back. But I'm going to have the gym giveaway tomorrow, probably before noon. I got like 26, 27 people. I'm going to pick 5 winners. So, it should be cool. And I wanted to tell you guys about that story. Let's see, the 2 stories that I didn't think I told you guys about yesterday. Wow. See, she was right where this something bedded down. Look at this right here. I mean, right here, all this grass laid down. That's weird. This is the same area. That doesn't look like deer. That looks too big, especially this little spot here. This is huge. Like, it starts right here and goes around. It's about a 10-foot area. This one's about a 6-foot area. This looks more comfortable. This looks like grass, but when I saw it, it had ripped this grass out from 50 different spots and laid it down basically like a bed, and when I laid in it, it was very comfortable. So anyway, the other Bigfoot stories that, yeah, it's weird that there's PVC pipe out here too. It's like 2 different pieces of it. So we're heading back. Come on, Sheba, let's go. And basically the story I didn't tell y'all about, my ex and her daughter were bringing me groceries late night. It was about 11:30 one night. I left the gate open for them, and it's pitch black out here. I mean, the only thing you're gonna see from my house to the nursery and the farm to right here is airplanes in the sky, and that's about it. So, come on guys, let's go. Basically, it was really wild out here back then. This was like 5 years ago. And when they pulled up, they had their lights off because my barn, where my barn's at, it's kind of lit up. And her daughter saw a figure. Her daughter was 15 then, and hit the brights on. And both of them said that whatever this was turned around and ran, like ran down on all 4s. I'm trying to look at tracks as I go too. I hear a duck, and there's a pond up here. A duck is not having a good time for some reason. It sounds like he's dying. And basically, this figure turned around, ran on all 4s, kind of like, they both said it kind of galloped, or ran like a chimpanzee would run in a zoo, except it was like 7 or 8 foot tall. And when it got to the tree line, it stood back up And that's when her daughter said, "Mom, it weren't no bear." Because her mom was trying to describe it and trying to tell herself that it wasn't what it was. And she even admitted, she goes, "Josh, it weren't no bear." And so I grabbed my gun, took off, because I didn't know if it was a human being or not. I'm not going to hurt a Sasquatch. I know that they exist. I know that there's families of them out there. So obviously there's probably good and bad ones, but you just leave them alone, which I've always done, even when they were attacking my trailer that night of hell where I was hearing gorilla sounds. I mean, these things were grunting at me. There was at least 2 or 3 because they were at each end of my trailer. All I had was Chloe then, and I didn't have my gun out here. And it was trippy, man. For 2.5 hours, these things were going off. And I know owls sound more like monkeys. Sometimes they'll sound like monkeys. It's real creepy. And they make 2, 3 different sounds, but this was so deep. It sounded like an elephant. I tell some people that's probably what an elephant would sound like. So it was right when I first moved out here too, so it made sense that, you know, I probably made them mad that there's a building out here where they're at. But now that we have crops, I think they love it and they don't want to ruin it. And that's why it's been kind of quiet for the last few years, except for when the coyotes come in. It sounds like there's something other than the coyotes, and the coyotes really sound demonic these days. They used to sound weird and like dogs, but now it's almost like hyenas, jackals. It sounds like a bunch of demons laughing is what it is. And that's why I just want to hurry up and get back. So, let's see. Oh yeah, before I lost my son, me and his mom, and we left him behind because it was like 28, 29 degrees. And almost all my stories in Florida have to do in the wintertime. I think, and I've heard that they migrate to Florida for the warmth of the winters, which makes sense. And there's a lot of wildlife in the swamps. So basically, we were camping in Ocala National Forest, and later on we looked up Bigfoot encounters in the area, and the same exact story of this thing throwing pine cones, okay? We pull up, we went to the store, we forgot drinks, so we went to go get drinks, and it took like 45 minutes. We left our camp. The fire died out. Nobody else in the park, except another young couple camping, probably from University of Florida, and they were in just a little tent. Well, when we pulled up, I started cranking up the fire, and I was gathering wood from around the site, and I got hit by a pine cone. So I threw the pine cone back to the palmettos. There's an area of about 60 yards of palmettos, and whatever it was on the other side of it, and all I had was a lantern, an electric lantern. I did not have a good flashlight at that point. Sheba, Solo, come on. Went too far. We gotta go back this way. So, to make a long story short, I played tag with this thing, throwing pine cones for about 20 minutes, 4 different times, okay? Well, I just wanted to go to bed. We got in the tent, and I said, let's pray. I built the fire up, let's just pray. You know, and we laid down. She was freaked out and wanted to get in the car, but we had a small car at that point. So I just wanted to lay down in the cot, and I had a gun and an axe, and I told her I didn't think it was a person. I thought it was a Sasquatch. And when the couple went up to go to the bathroom, the public restroom in the campground, and when they turned on their lights, the light beam hit something, whatever that was behind our tent. I don't know how it walked up because I was on high alert, awake. I hadn't fallen asleep yet, but she did. And right when they did that, I smelled the most god-awful smell I've ever smelled in my life. I swear it smelled like 10 skunks. And that's what you hear. So it freaked me out. And we found pine cones in her shoes in the morning. And her shoes flopped over. They were like boots. So it's weird. Very weird. Now, I got a couple other stories too, so I might do a video 3. My sister's trying to upload, hopefully, a picture. That picture, she's got that picture I told y'all about with the arm. But stay tuned for the gem giveaway. God bless, Jesus saves. And I don't know where my dogs are.